Hello. All right. Should be up and running right now. Do. What? All right. I think it's good, but I don't know. Let's see. Of course. Unmute. I think it's fine. Yeah. Hello. 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 All right. Yep. That's going. All right. Well, on a be right back screen for now. Do. Oh, righty. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's see, take this off. Hi, hello, welcome. Or, I'm late, it is what it is. We're back on stream this week for Sully's Abode Locals. You guys saw round one. I think it was a yellow kid versus, I forgot what it was already. But let's go over to the players. We're going to have Darth Eradicus versus Circle Button, if I am not mistaken. Let's see. Yep. Darth Eradicus. Let's set this up here. They're both on GP, so thought this deck was going to go away. It did not. I thought a lot more people were going to be on the UP wave, but it honestly is not that great. A lot of decks starting to tech against it. Let's see. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a second. All right, going over to the main stage, the main screen here. We do got a 35-minute round here. Setting the fucking timer here. Trying to set up a 30. Trying to set up a 35-minute timer here on YouTube. And I'm failing. All right, so GP technically pretty much majority of the time wants to go second. And they want to go second so that they can pretty much establish Sanji putting on, you know, turn 6, do the ability, and be able to play out a Zoro Joro, which is ideally the curve. Going first isn't terrible either. We do see a Nami search here, which is more than likely going to be looking for a Sanji and pudding, which is pretty much the bread and butter of GP here. If you do not see it on curve, it is just a terrible time. I tried running this deck back in EB, and it just was, I was against myself. So you do see Darth Eradicus trying to see what exactly he needs here. Nami is able to grab any type of Straw Hat card. Doesn't have the restriction that Zoro Joro has, which is what he's looking for here currently. So ends up grabbing a Zoro Joro for the turn. Won't be able to establish it next turn, however, unless he triggers out a ramp card out of life. Looks like ends up establishing the stage here, which is going to draw him one card here, which is a good way to find pieces that you need, as well as being able to buff your characters to put it out of range for like an Electric Luna if they're still running it, or potential Radio Knife, which I did know they were running it in this deck. And you did see that search card there as well, grabbing a Zoro. So onto the 3-down turn for Darth Eradicus here. Finally, he's going to be able to swing at life. Establishes his own stage, which is good. Again, you're going to want that for the draw. Get rid of it while you can early. But main thing is to buff your characters later in the game. So main thing here. So he's going to swing 7 here at Circle Button. Ends up taking the life here. Not much to really do if you have that 2020 Chopper. That's a Foxy Pirates, but again, it's very risky to establish here very early on as well. You don't want your opponent to leave that on the field, and you kind of just get stuck with it. We do see a 5K here. Darth Eradicus might take it, potentially. I feel like early on is a pretty decent time to take a life, to try to find pieces if you don't have them, but he counters out with a Frankie. And here's the Zoro Joro. So this Zoro Joro will only be able to grab a Straw Hat type card as long as it is a purple card. And Sanjin Pudding is found, which is going to be perfect for curve. So next turn, we'll be able to establish that, as well as another 4-drop if he has another Zoro Joro. So basically just going to go wide, and all of them are going to be able to swing at Darth Erraticus here, even if he does do leader ability. So we do see a 6K swing, ends up countering with that 2K Sanji blocker, and establishes his own Zoro Joro. So no Sanjin Pudding on curve, which is very unfortunate. That's what you wanted to see, and he ends up finding it right now. Also good to be able to proc that ability to kind of get yourself down a Don, because, you know, without it, you know, you're going to be able to start drawing as well. So circle button, I believe, still ahead, and Don isn't going to be able to draw off his first Sanji Pudding, but potentially will on his second one if he sees it. Which I believe he has a second one in his hand. That's what it looks like. So we do see a 6K swing. Darth Erraticus counters out and protects himself there. And here is the first Sanjin Pudding. And again, is going to be able to proc that leader ability. Send 2 Don back, restand 2, and get 1 back from this Sanjin Pudding. Leaving him with 4 Don once again. And again, could establish another 4-drop if he has it. Or maybe that Frankie, I believe that's what it is in hand, to be able to draw 1 more card as well. Or 1 more Don back. Yep, so he's going to go for a 7K swing to leader. Darth Erraticus does take that swing. And yep, looks like, oh, a Robin. Robin is a blocker with the on KO effect on -1. Search top 3 for a Straw Hat card. So another way to find other pieces you could potentially need. And since he did utilize the stage here, buffs this Nico Robin up to a 5 cost, which now puts it out of range for that green Zoro, Roronoa Zoro, which is able to rest a 4 cost or less. So Circle playing around the potential removal. So Circle is currently at 5 Don right now. Keep in mind, again, they're going to keep track of that because it's going to be dependent on the draws off the Sanjin Puddings. So we do see the first Sanjin Pudding on Darth Erraticus' side here, Cedric. No draw, however, is going to proc the ability, restand 2 and gain 1 back, and is going to be able to establish a second Sanjin Pudding if he does have one. But looks like he does not. Splits the Dawn up 4 and 1. Potentially another search here is what I might be thinking might happen here. Yep, decides to block here. Uses the Dawn minus to search top 3. Looking for another card. It looks like you see nothing but Namis, and don't know what that 3rd card was, but is going to have another search for next turn. Swings 7K into the Zoro, trying to clear the board, which is a smart thing to try and do here. Regardless, it's the same amount of counter if you're swinging at the leader or at board. And then ends up giving him 2 1Ks, which now should show Darth Erraticus he has no 2K counters here. And you can start dwindling the hand a bit. Oh, Radio Knife exactly when he needed it. Forward on, rests that Sanjin Pudding and KOs it since he used the buff on the Nico Robin instead of the Sanji Pudding. Very unfortunate there for Circle Button there. So if he does have another Sanji Pudding, he's still going to be in an okay spot, but you pretty much want to establish 2 together to get the most value off the leader ability, getting the 2 back. So again, is just going to be 1 active, leaving him with 4 Don. Let's see what other 4-drop he has in hand there. Does have another stage. He has another search card. Could look for another option. However, for sure he's going to use the stage on the Sanji Pudding. Yep. So that Sanji Pudding is now going to be protected from a potential other Radio Knife here. We're going to go 6K swing at board, and then here he goes. Darth Erratic is starting to protect the board. That is what you're going to want to do here. And establishes another stage here, which is going to draw him a card and probably buff the Zoro Joro. Yep. And again, more than likely trying to find another option. And it looks like he does have an Electric Luna in hand. I believe that's what that is. However, it looks like we're going to continue to dig here. Maybe looking for another Sanji Pudding, or finds a Zoro there. I believe that might be turn. At best, probably swings maybe an 8K into the Zoro that is rested with his own Zoro. Yep. And of course, that is probably the best decision here because you're going to want to clear the board. If not, if he wants to protect this card, is going to need to dump multiple cards here, at least 3K counter. So it's going to be at the minimum 2 cards. A 2 and a 1, or potentially 2 2Ks, which is going to be best case scenario for Circle Button here. There you go. We got Cedric here deciding whether or not to counter out. If he's only got 3 cards in hand, potentially that might not be the... Oh, he decides to protect that Zoro. Potentially, again, to just continue to pressure Circle Button next turn. Yeah, so since Circle Button is at less Don than Darth Erraticus, he is unable to use the stage to buff one of these characters, which is unfortunate for him. Cedric's begging for help here, looking for options. All right, I dropped a piece of my microphone. Yeah, this is definitely a rough spot here. So it looks like he played a stage over stage for a draw. At this point, this game really comes down to resources, and Circle Button does have 6 cards in hand. And I believe Darth Erraticus should have at least 2 in hand. He was countering out very heavily early on. Alright, remember this computer. Just re-logging in under the Twitch here. Talking to myself. Alright. So it looks like he establishes the secret Luffy here. Did leader abilities, so it does have, looks like about 4 other Dawn to play with here. Could potentially try to just swing at the Zoro Joro again to clear this board here. Oh, decides to pressure leader here. So Circle is going to take that. Again, he's got the resources to counter out here. And looks like Darth Erraticus is just going to go in for a kill here. So another 7K to leader here. Could swing 7-7, restand, and another 7. Maybe Circle Button is trying to bait him in to try to go for lethal here, since he knows Erraticus is in a bad spot. And another 7K to leader protects this one just to be on the safe side. He's going to go 8K to leader, leaving 1 Dawn up for maybe a potential giant. And takes that last life there. Looking at Circle Button's hand, he's not in a good spot. GP is very known for bricking, which is not a good thing as well. Let's see, what is Circle Button gonna do here? Now, if he is bricked, he might just have to go for, some type of lethal. He's looking for options. Maybe gonna grab a giant from this search here, because I do know he has an Electric Luna in hand, so he's gonna be able to stun the board here, buy him some type of time. I think the Luna is gonna be his best option here. Yep, it's gonna restand two as well, get one back, and then maybe Luna pop here, and then just pressuring of the board, or of life on Erraticus' side here. So we do see the 6K swing go on here. We do see a 2K is protecting the life, which is what you want to do. Takes the life as well. But you do see a search, and he finds a Gum Giant, which is what he wants to see. Oh, looks like he opts to not take the Giant. Might be considering his options here. Doesn't want to go down and down. Yep, opts to just take the Giant, which is going to be good for protecting himself. That's what he's going to need for counter and cycling of the hand. But I don't think he has much of a hand here currently. Looks like just 2 cards in hand. Circle Button does have a pretty thick hand himself, though. Different options to go through with stuff. And oh, I did not start the timer, but we do have about 19 minutes left, and that is including overtime. It's going to go 8K to leader here, and potentially trying to bait out the Gum Giant here. But I feel like should not take the life if he does not have to here. An Electric Luna just hits the field as well. It's going to use the stage to buff. Maybe the Sanji I'm putting here has 2 Dawn up, and potentially, that's going to show you that he probably has 2 Gum Giants, which, looking at his hand, looks like he does have 2 Giants in hand. So if an all-out lethal swing all on leader was all he had left, that is pretty much game. Yeah, very unfortunate. There was no way to play around the Electric Luna, especially since he wasn't lowered on than his opponent there. 8 cards in the hand. That is a decent hand size for a GP as well. Contemplating whether or not to go for game. But again, he's considering that he does have a Gum Giant there. And just wait in OP12 when they do establish a new event card. What's going on, Johnny?
What's up? This game here to see what's going on. Oh, the mirror.
Yeah, it's pretty much Circle Button's game here. He does have double Giant in hand, just Electric Luna, all of Darth Erraticus' field. So what lethal he did have is now officially gone at this point.
How much Don does Darth Erraticus have?
Not a lot.
Okay.
Not enough for, I mean, he could potentially just, I believe he should be at like 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe he's at 9. Could just go for a Hail Mary 14K swing. Because again, he does have double giant. He's gonna have to find
Yeah, it has to be
counter from
everything
hand.
brick then, though. Because, what is it? You swing 14, that's 2 giants and an extra card.
Yeah, and he's
So
gonna filter out. But however, I have seen a GP giant 3 times back to back
to find nothing.
and draw 6
I
bricks.
remember classic playing Purple Luffy where of course, I do giant to throw away like a 9 mile I can't use, and then I draw another one in like 9 costs. I'm like, all right, I guess I
Exactly.
just lose.
Sometimes they just brick terribly.
Or the 0 zeros you don't see the entire game. They just spawn there.
Yeah. Or the Sanji puddings. Yep, so
Yeah.
use the Zoro Joro here. You're supposed to look for a purple event. Tried to grab that Nami. Yeah, Adam, that event card's going to be so nasty in GP. It's its own Hody. And it's searchable, right?
I think it is Straw Hat Crew, so it is searchable.
Yeah. OP12 is going to be a fun time.
I feel like the half times though, it's like the only time I would actually use it against like these event cards, because like I feel like GP sometimes just has like you already have like 20 swings on board where you don't need like the rest. Because there's so many situations where you're like, oh yeah, it looks like they only have 2 rests or 2 attack, and then boom, the secret rare comes out, and it's just like, damn, I can't
Yeah.
block all that.
But that's just some guaranteed more lethal.
Yeah.
So he's deciding to go for board here. Swings 9 at the Zoro Joro here.
Against these types of decks, I feel always so bad swinging not 4K at least, like in this late game scenarios.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 3 cards, but
That's 10K counter.
I feel like that signifies like I have giant.
Yeah, we do know Circle Button does have it.
I am running Smoker today.
I've been wanting to build it. I've seen an interesting list running like the Sword Navy stuff in it.
Yeah. The problem is the source of it doesn't really work that well unless you have them being able to attack on the turn they're played.
Yeah.
Like Hibari is good, it's just a -2 on play, but it's like it needs to survive till next turn to be able to get the value.
Yeah. And we do see a 0 cost event there to get him out of that first swing.
Yeah, but here comes
6K, the secret Luffy. And this is pretty much guaranteed lethal here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swings.
Yeah.
5 swings gonna come to CJ's.
5 swings and you still have like you can attach multiple Dons in there.
Yep, and we do see a poke first of a 6K swing. It's like a trigger. Radio knife resting at least one of these swings. Unfortunately, you're unable to rest the Luffy here. And
How much Don? Your opponent needs to be a 5 Don, right? To
gain the rush?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Darth Eradicus is more than enough there. However, if he was able to get himself down to less than 5, he negates that rush of that Luffy there.
I hate how many times this deck draws cards. Like there was a game I was playing Blue Yellow Nami against GP. I put in them twice, and then I asked them how many cards they have later on in the game, and they're like, "I have 8 cards in hand." I'm like, "How's that even possible?"
Yeah, it gets absolutely crazy with the amount of cards that they can grab. I probably spelled that wrong.
You did spell it wrong. It's John.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, you can't even type.
It's been a long day. Been on vacation, haven't had to do nothing with typing or nothing.
What does Hibari do again? I remember it lets you attack like active or something.
It's an on-play ability as well.
It's on play is like -2000 or something, but when it's attacking, lets you like let another character attack active, I think.
Shit, I definitely. No, here it is. I believe that's what it does, but let's check. I didn't bring this up today. Let's see. Hibari.
The problem is it just doesn't have counter. I feel like it's like
Yeah, on play, give up to one of your characters opponent's characters minus 2,000. When attacking, this character gives leader plus 1,000. Then up to one of your Navy type leader can also
That's
attack
good.
active.
It's good, but I just don't like having non-counter. And if I'm 5 down, I'm probably just gonna drop 5-cost smoker.
Yeah, but this is after like that's established because you want to
Yeah.
establish that smoker first because the restand ability.
Yeah, it can be because there's not
Banish.
that much removable base decks running around right now. Like, I mean, blue purple like God Thread or it's other stuff, but it's not like there's like everyone's playing Lucci or something.
Yeah, it's not like Lucci. I feel like Lucci was about to start popping off the set until we got the starter decks. The starter decks completely changed
Yeah, it's like if you run into the
the
one
Lucci
buggy,
meta.
it's like damn, I'm kind of screwed.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough time, especially with that Croc and Mihawk. That card is just disgusting.
Also, because Blackbeard gets buffed, that means more people playing Blackbeard too, which you do not want to see.
I love Blackbeard. I was actually gonna play Blackbeard today until I was able to figure out the streaming setup
Yeah,
thing.
also some of these green decks are like I'm playing like Smoker or like Bonnie. It's like all right, I'll just drop the Tashigi.
Yeah,
Have fun dealing with that.
it's disgusting. Kobe's actually a pretty fun deck. It's very
Yeah,
you got to see everything or else you die.
yeah, I feel like a lot of times I play against it and they don't see like on 6 the Helmepo into a Kobe. It's kind of like not it's a struggle.
Yeah, I have been having a lot of fun with Green Yellow Law. Like that's the
Yeah.
one deck that I'm
I was
playing
gonna
that's
build
not
it.
Blackbeard.
I was gonna build it, but I'm like, I have no idea how to play this. I don't think I have enough brain power right now to study.
Dude, it's trippy, especially going from Blackbeard. It's like nothing having on plays to Green Yellow where everything's gonna have an on play ability. It's fucking
Yeah,
so
but your
much
cards
fun.
are basically on play half the time.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Pretty much. Mine are resting. These are on play doing some shit fun. Oh man, Adam. What can I say? I don't have your type of skill. Going crazy. How many? All right, better yet, what's your record on Kobe right now? Why you laughing at the man?
I feel it's like you're just trying to catch him out right now, asking for his record.
We're gonna catch him. We're gonna catch Adam here. Let's see here. Let me see something. I might move some of these mats over a bit once CJ's done. What? It's such a fun deck, Adam. Trust.
Bro, it's not red, that's why.
Oh, you're right. I forgot how much you love that. All right, let me know. This is all in free.
All right. Yeah, GY, well, there's a lot of fun decks out right now, but a little closer. There we go, that's good. Even X1 in all of them, when are you gonna be XO? That's the real question.
You've gone X1 at all locals?
Where's the XO?
Don't worry, Adam. I'm gonna show up to TGS this Friday. Let you just cheat out of hand. That's the thrilling part, Adam. You basically kill yourself down to do some cool shit. That's the thrill of Green Yellow Law right there.
I think it's fun just because there's like so many different things you could just do. Like you never know what your G law or GY law opponent's gonna do. Where there's like so many different options. You're like, you could play Bonnie, you could play the Cavendish from Life, or you could play the. You can do some crazy combo with like you search to find your pieces you need, play a Bonnie to put your thing into life, and then
What's up, Leo?
bounce everything back.
No, I did not. I did not miss that red-green law. That was the bane of my existence until Lucci came out.
I was gonna say every time I play against green red law, I'm like, what is this deck gonna do?
Yeah, I know. What's up, Leo? Long
That's
time
true.
no see.
That's what. Yeah, I remember I played against one of my friends at a 1K tournament where they're playing against. I was playing blue yellow Nami, was playing green yellow Law. He's used to just spamming 6K swings. I'm like, all right, leader effect to 7, and he's just stunned. He's like, what am I supposed to do?
I will say, once the useless captain kit is established, though, and then you just fucking shit out all the veggie blockers, you're sitting pretty good.
Yeah, but I had, luckily for my Nami, I'm like, all right, Nojiko, Veggie back to hand, Red Rock, send him out.
No, it's fucked up. There's no way around that. So many green yellow players are so bad, but when you finally see a good green yellow player, dude, it's fucking nuts. I've been good. I've been busy the last 2 weeks, which is why I haven't streamed on here. So
Yeah, and I don't come here often, so I can't run it either.
I've been actually doing a lot more vending. So I've been basically making deals, trying to get some more product
Yeah.
for that instead of being here
I would say
streaming.
if you see James at the events, he's got the mother load.
Shit, I do got a lot. I actually just bought a lot of shit out this weekend
Decent.
from this last show. I was like, stop selling. Well,
I was gonna say I was thinking about coming to that, but then I went to the one the week before you were at, and I was like,
yeah,
I got what I needed.
There's some decent ones there.
I'm finally glad that I got rid of my championship kid,
like
the
this
dead
was-
weight in my.
This was from
binder.
Saturday's show, and then the one above it's Sundays. I got a lot of shit.
You do. You should give it all to me for free as your coworker.
Hey, Carrasco, I'm sorry. Someone had to do it. Make sure you guys follow SGTCG on YouTube for some content.
Yeah, we'll eventually post another podcast. Don't worry.
Hey, I was going to, but it was the birthday yesterday, so
You're lucky I was
couldn't.
sick yesterday too. I was at work. I fucking vomited. I went home.
Oh hell no. Yeah, I was definitely down, but something came up. Obviously, my birthday, so I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck it, let's go be
That's true.
productive."
Where'd you go? Go drink? Is that basically the
No,
plan?
drinking might be this Saturday potentially.
I mean, yeah, it's the 4th Friday, of course. That's the plan this weekend.
Yeah. So I might go drinking this weekend. I did go to Chamagacha, some like Brazilian steakhouse. So that was
Oh,
cool.
is that downtown?
No, it's in Downers Grove.
Okay.
Oh, spreading the plague over here. Listen, anyone wants to tongue Johnny down and get the plague, they're all able to. Here, it's overtime, so I'll be right back.
All right. That's crazy, bro. I'm coming. If you're at, what's it called, tomorrow, I'm about to spread it to you, Carrasco. Better be ready. But yeah, I've been playing some, like I said, Red Green Smoker. That deck seems it's very fun right now. That new Kujaku Searcher event does wonder for the deck. So you have 8 ways to grab your Tashigi Smoker. You're able to search out Honesty Impact. There's a lot of cool things you can do with the deck now. I'm just wondering. I don't know is there any, I'm trying to think if there's any blue-purple today I think I saw at least one person on blue-purple. I guess everyone's like just tired since it's not like a regional events. Well, I'm not in any Pirates League. Thing is, I honestly don't care. If I go to Nats, I want to like play in the actual tournament. And also, I don't really want to go to Nats. That requires me to have time off. I don't feel like taking days off and traveling. I should just win the qualifier and just be like, yeah, I'm not being a captain for the team. I'm not playing. I only had PTO, bro. I applied there and they said no. You gotta bring it back up to HR that they said no to me. I guess so. Okay, yeah, Sam is on UP. That's like the one person I did see. But let me look who is still playing, like who's still left. So, Jesus won. I'm not sure what he's on. I know a GP won. I won on Smoker. Espresso. Or no, him and Teddy are still playing, or they still report. Teddy won. Teddy Panda won. I'm not sure what he's on. I won red green. I have no idea what's left. But James is doing some overtime ruling right now for a match between. I don't know. I can't tell over there, but I guess we're just gonna spend some more quality time together. You know, I wish these rounds would get through so I can go home and eat. I'm starving. I might have to grab some pizza on the way home, or maybe some McDonald's. That sounds good. Hopefully, maybe since I'm 2-0 right now, I can go on stream next, and no one can see me get smoked by whatever. Do I like from McDonald's? Was it the spicy McCrispy that they introduced like the last year or two? That shit's good. The sauce they have on it, oh, it's so good. But McDouble sounds good. Dude, anything sounds good. Still going overtime. Not really. I don't feel like getting up to check. I feel like as soon as I walk over there, it'll be done. It's like, all right, what did I get up for? But yeah, it looks like we'll have 5 undefeated once this last match ends. So we'll have at least 2 more rounds. And there's the timer. All right, I don't know how to end the timer. What the hell? Okay. Yeah, so it looks like we'll have at least 2 more rounds. Maybe 3 if the down pair doesn't lose after. There'll be a down pair next round, so it's at least 2 more, potentially 3.
Yeah, it was a UP versus UP match right there.
Okay. That's what I was gonna say. Every regional's going to time now. It's just because we're gonna have UP mirrors. And
Yeah, they were. It was just unfortunate they accidentally pitched the wrong card.
All right,
All
looks
right.
like I got a match.
There you're on stream, Johnny. Johnny's is on stream now. Let's see here. I am in Nerd Rage's Pirate League. However, I did just sign up for a vending event, so I might not even show up. So no Pirates League for me, unless I do EG, which I think is on Saturday. So I might pop over to Everything Games, potentially to try to get off the wait list. I gotta find your freaking PRB Kuzans. Sam, I believe Sam lost round 1. There you go. I was trying to get into the LCQ also, Carrasco, but I missed signups. I might go anyway just to go. I mean, it's always a vibe out there. They are. I told you I have the OP2 ones. Those are everywhere. But going over to the players, again, we do have Johnny Tsunami, who was just on stream here. So Circle Button was here, so it is going to be a GP versus, I believe, he's on Red Green Smoker today. So let's see. Hold on. Let me type this man's name here. We got Mr. Tsunami. All right, here. So let me see. Let's going over to the main screen. Yeah, so he is on Red Green Smoker. Started hearing a lot about this leader here. One pretty good leader, too. Has access to Hody Jones, which is going to be able to rest the Dawn here on Circle Button side. I'm going to see if I could at least get into LCQ, maybe waitlist into it. Who knows? You know, anything can happen around here. Oh. What's up, cutie? These? I had them right here. All right, so we are seeing the dice roll here. I did not see who won there, though. Was looking over. PRB Cata Alt. Yellow category? I might. I think I picked up 2 during this last show. Here, Adam. I'm going to plug you in real fast. I'm going to send you my Instagram where I always post all my shit. Let's see. All right, so we got Mr. Tsunami. Looks like he's doing a mulligan here. Did not see what he liked. All right, let's see. Oh, I can't find it. Here it is. I just sent you the page, Adam. All right, so here we go. We got first is circle button here. Starting off with the Nami search here. Again, more than likely going to be looking for maybe a Sanji pudding. If it's in the search, more than likely is going to be what he grabs here. But might be opting for, looks like I had to believe that was a Nico Robin blocker. Yep. That is going to be a turn 2 play here for circle button as well. Yeah, I might have you on one, Adam. We'll see, though. I got to check all my stuff when I get home. And we do see the stage here going on, which is going to draw him 1. It's also going to give his characters +2 cost. And a 7K swing to life here. Johnny is taking that first swing there. We are going to 4 Dawn here. Very unfortunate. Obviously, I believe Smoker's preferred curve is going first for being able to establish that, what is it, the Smoker on curve, which we are seeing here, the Sanji, which is a 3 cost on his turn, gets that +2, which is going to attach 1 Dawn to be able to get his Smoker leader ability to proc off. And now establishes a Virgo to look for a Punk Hazard type card. Ends up finding a 2020 Chopper blocker there. And now swinging for a 6 to lead. And ends up getting a 2K Usahachi out of hand, which is good. You know, you don't want those Usahachis to come up later in the game. If not, you're dwindling the 2Ks from hand already. So 5 Dawn turn. Looks like he does not have a Sanji pudding, which is good for Johnny here. Yep, here comes the Zoro Joro. Gonna go digging for a Sanji pudding. And again, GP revolves around this Sanji pudding, which is the one thing that it really needs in a match here. And finds a 2K Sanji, not the Sanji that he wants. And looks like nothing else he can do other than maybe a 6K swing for this turn. Maybe the Sanji puddings are in life currently. Yep, so we're going for a 6K to leader here, which is going to take another life here, going down to 2 life. Smoker is okay kind of being down low in life. Again, they usually want to hide behind a useless Captain Kidd, and they're usually just chilling from there. However, I don't see one in hand. Do we have the Smoker on curve? Tapping 5. And there's the Smoker. So he's going to be able to use leader ability to restand 2 off the Smoker, and Smoker will restand 1 more, getting him back up to 4 Dawn, which is exactly where you want to be here. Could establish a Tashigi for protection. However, GP isn't really a removal deck, so there's really no point in establishing a Tashigi. Well, I lied. Some lists are running Radio Knife, so maybe it might be a good thing to establish a Tashigi for that just in case Radio Knife. And we do see a poke for 5 to leader and then a 6 to leader, which he does get a 2K from that. And establishes this chopper blocker here, which I believe is also a 6K. So we got circle button thinking here exactly what to do this turn. Again, no Sanjin putting on curve. Yeah, I don't see it. Nope, and we're going digging. This is the third search circle button has done this game. Can he find it this turn? And does not find it again. Does have that Zoro to be able to rest that chopper blocker if he wants to. Ends up grabbing a Frankie as well, which is a way to recoup some of the Don from his Don minus off leader ability. Does have secret loop. He could just start swinging at life. However, he's not really sitting in a good spot right now. Oh man, I didn't start. Yeah, fuck it. We'll start at 31 minutes. Here. Here you go. This is where I just started the timer for the store. All right. So we do see the Nico Robin getting established. Did swing with the Zoro here. Gonna use leader ability here. Sending 2 Don back. Restanding 2. Does not get any Don back because, again, no Sanjin putting on the field here. So very unfortunate. However, it does need these Don here. Is going to be able to play that Frankie from hand if he wants to at least get 1 Don back. So he's not down 2. Ends up bumping that Nico Robin up to a 5 cost with stage. Swinging 7K to leader here. Looks like Johnny is going to decide to take this swing as well. Yep, and here is that Frankie, which is going to be able to get one of these Don back as rested so that you're not losing momentum on your Don here. Now on to Johnny's turn here. Sitting at 1 life. Again, pretty much taking a majority of the life here, so playing a risky game. Oh, he's going to use Mole Pistol. Is going to knock out that Nico Robin, minusing 4 to the Zoro. Circle button decides to use that on KO effect to search here. Gatling gun, which is a 0 cost counter card here. It's going to have to pitch another card for it. But looks like Johnny might attempt to clear the Zoro right here. Yep, it's going to go 2K into 2K, so is going to try to go for the clear here. Ends up clearing that Zoro. No point in protecting it with the amount of swings that Johnny has left. And another thing on this Smoker card is that it does have Banish. So that's another thing to really worry about for Circle Button here. So it looks like Johnny is planning out lethal here. Maybe another Mole Pistol. Looks like I see one in hand there. But best to hold on to it for removal on the next turn. Because I do know Circle Button has a Secret Luffy, I see. I think that's a Secret Luffy. Oof. Borsalino, interesting tech. So is resting that Borsalino to allow one of his characters or leaders to swing into one of Circle Button's characters here. Yeah, a Navy leader or character is able to attack active characters. So does end up getting that Gatling out of hand there. It's down to 4 cards in hand. Pretty much dwindled Circle Button's hand here. 7 to leader with Banish. Takes the one that does not have Banish, which is a smart thing to do. Counter out of the one that won't give you something. And Baccarat is a very interesting card as well. I believe that's the one where you trash a card and you get your leader 2K. Let's see, it's a blocker as well. On attack, you may trash 1 card from your hand up to 1 of your leaders. Yeah, you gain plus 2,000 during the battle. So you could pitch a brick, get plus 2K from it. So very good card. Pretty much Nami ability, but it's not permanent for the turn like Nami is. So using the Frankie, swinging at the Borsalino here. Gets a Don back rested. Lets the Borsalino go. It did its thing. At this point, if he establishes an active character, does have the other Mole Pistol to remove it. And there's the Sanji Pudding. I don't think Mole Pistol will be enough to reach that Sanji Pudding, though. I could be wrong, though. Let's see, Mole Pistol -5. Oh, yeah, it's going to be able to KO that Sanji Pudding. Reducing it to 5. By 5, getting it down to 2, and then you could pop it. Yeah, so Sanji Pudding is not safe. So Johnny does have the card to remove this off the field here. So uses the stage, bumping this Sanji Pudding up to a 7 cost. And again, in any other matchup that has removal, this would matter a lot. Oh, off cost removal. Smoker is mainly doing it off of power base. So Johnny does not have to worry about the stage at all here. Now 5 cards in hand there on Johnny's side. Looks like he's swinging another 5 at life with Nami. And here are all the counters here. 1 Don up on Circle Button's side here. Again, Red Green Smoker does has access to Hody Jones, but if he doesn't need to do it, there's no point in attempting to go full-on lethal at this point. Pretty much guarantee removing. Oh, there's Honesty Impact, getting rid of that Sanji Pudding. Honesty Impact is one of the new cards from OP11, mainly for Kobe, but I have seen it in Red Green Smoker. Oh yeah, Smoker Run, Mole Pistol, Mole Gun. I see it, and Honesty Impact, definitely a way around this Sanji Pudding. So swinging 7 at the Frankie again, just trying to take away the pressure from Circle Button here. And is going to start pressuring life here. 6K to leader, does take it. 10 to leader with Banish here. It's going to require pretty much a giant if he wants to keep that life there. And at least 1 more counter as well. Yeah, I was going to say he did not minus the Don from that Gum Gum Giant, so Johnny did call it out. So Johnny is able to remove majority of the field off Circle Button here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like 7 Don right now. Yeah, so 7 Don at best can establish 1 rush Luffy and use leader ability and just give himself 3 Don for a potential lethal swing. However, that's not going to do much, especially with 2 blockers on the field here. So Circle Button is sitting in a pretty rough spot here. Yeah, I don't think there's any way out here for circle button. Nope, and tapping 6 probably for the secret Luffy here. And there is the big boy there. Is going to probably be able to proc the leader ability there. I don't know if he's got another giant in hand. However, he's at least going to get himself 3 Don. Potential Nico Robin, but again, that's not going to do much. Looks like there is 1 giant in hand. So he's going to decide to pressure life here. 7K to leader. Oof. Oh, 10 layer igloo. So is going to give him a +3 and can give something -2,000 and decides to give it to the leader. So now the leader is currently a 4K and decides to swing 4K at the Sanji. However, he does use that Tony Chopper blocker to get out of that swing. And an electric Luna. So now Johnny's entire field here is stunned currently, with the exception of Baccarat here. So good on circle button to at least stall it out. Honestly, impact the Luffy again. So getting rid of all the lethal that circle button has. And we do see leader ability proc because he still has this 5-cost smoker on the field. And then the smoker is going to restand 1 more Don. Pretty much making that honestly impact free for the most part. He's going to go 10 to leader here. Decides to take it. And 2 Don for Rosinante. So again, having 2 blockers on the field. And if circle button decides to establish another secret Luffy, if he even had it, will not get around the Baccarat and the Rosinante for lethal. So we do see the Nami search here. Digging for some type of options, maybe for counter. Ends up finding a 2K counter. He does have double Nico Robin, which might be what he establishes here. Double Nico Robin and hoping on the Gum Gum Giant as well. 2 cards in Johnny Tsunami's hand, though. If Johnny is able to top deck or finds Hody Jones in life if he takes it, pretty much signifies game here for Johnny. If circle button decides to go the double Nico Robin route. And that honestly might be the best option here. Double Robin does have the 0-cost event and the Giant. Oh, goes with Sanji and Pudding and goes for a draw. Draws another Sanji Pudding. And here goes the leader ability as well. Restand 2, Sanji gives him another one. Could use 3 Don to establish the Sanji blocker as well, if that is something he wanted to do. Could do the Nico Robin, because again, if that gets KO'd, can Don minus for a potential other search there. Decides to swing 6K at the Sanji there. Does Johnny let it go here? Decides to protect it, giving up the Rosinante there. Good choice, because again, he could utilize this Sanji to go lethal next turn. Just giving him an extra swing. And there is the Robin. 1 active more than likely signifies the minimum a Gum Gum Giant here. And there is Hody, resting the blocker and the Don, and gonna go for lethal. Leader effect is gonna restand 2, Smoker restands 1, giving him 3 more Don, and swings 8K to leader, giving him a 2 and a 1. Another 8, which he does have the 0-cost event. And then 10K with leader, Johnny taking the win here. Johnny with the Honesty Impact and Mole Pistol pretty much every single turn he needs it. Gets him the win there. And again, Hody Jones to pretty much guarantee lethal there, resting the blocker and resting the other Don that he needed there to go for it. Red Green Smoker, definitely a sleeper pick. And we are going to see Tsunami in the finals. Potentially. So there were 5 undefeated going into this round here. Oh, no, there is going to be another round. So it's going to be Red Green Smoker versus a potential Blackbeard. And I'm not sure what Jesus is playing today, but Jesus is still currently undefeated as well. Filthy Hody abuser. He got there. I know you're not talking. I've seen you abuse Hody as well. Oh, man. Let's see here. Still got about 11 minutes before OT. Green Yellow Law is the exception. That sounds like biasm. Biased. I definitely was, one to... I love using the Hody and Green Yellow Law. I will admit, you definitely put me onto a fun deck, Roscoe. I will admit it. I will not deny it. Probably the most fun I've had in a minute. Especially going from Blackbeard to Green Yellow Law, it's definitely a fun time. There's just so many more things to do. Obviously, Blackbeard is essentially established for removal, which I love doing too. Not letting my opponent play. Oh, thank you, Chris. I know the long hair had to go, finally left. Back to looking like normal. It's weird. I had to get back used to it. That's true. There's like 4 different things, probably more than 4 that Green Yellow Law can do. But you know what I love more than that, Crosco? Is turning off your on plays is when we're playing against each other. That's definitely the highlight of my day. Can't tell me otherwise. Let me turn this off. Put it back to 35. 00. Zoink. Boo. Hey, dog. Be ready for tomorrow. Got locals tomorrow. The ones I get to play at. And here we go. We got the winner here. Mr. Tsunami is back.
Whoa.
Welcome back.
That was a scary game, I thought, for the most part.
I thought he had nothing.
Yeah, but I was like, I fell in the command lead, but you never know, because like if they go into their turn with 8 or 9 Don, you could just be dead from hand.
Yeah, but he was digging, and then you had the Honesty Impact, the Mole.
I was going to say, I had all the removal cards. He told me after the game he doesn't have any Gamma Knife in there, and so if I saw a kid, it was just a done deal.
Yeah, so you were sitting good that entire game.
I think I made a smart decision, though, early on. I think I could. There's one turn I could have played the Borso blocker. I could have swung like 5-7 and played Borso blocker, or instead swung 5-6 and played Chopper blocker. I'm like, I feel like Chopper blocker is coming out right now is probably the best.
Yeah, you would have been sitting good.
That Chopper blocker just literally just got free value the entire time. I think I had to maybe block once and counter out with it, and the rest of it was just free blocks.
Yeah,
7K blocker for 4 is very nice.
That was the one that you rested, right, to be able to swing at lead? The red Borsellino?
The red Borsellino lets me swing at active characters, so I did it on my leader and swung 6 at the Frankie and got 2 cards out of his hand.
But that's the blocker one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was nasty.
Yeah, and it's also just you can't really just free swing into it too, since Smoker Effect makes it a 4K, so you could easily just 2K out of it and force another swing at it.
All right, I forgot my login.
It's a very fun deck, as you can see. There's a lot of turns I'm like, I have all this done. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I was seeing that. You're just swinging big with it, and that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and I also just had I had Brakara on board. Just I didn't use the effect at all, but I had those honesty impacts and like Hody. If I needed to, I could just.
Did you have Hody from start?
No, I had Hody. I think I had Hody. The turn before I went for lethal, I pulled him, but I just went honesty impact, clear, and just try to swing out because I'd rather just wait till he commits more hand side before I commit to Hody and try to win.
That was
'Cause I felt
definitely the
safe.
better option.
Yeah, because then I think because if I did Hody and I didn't kill him, he just lunas my board that next turn.
Yeah. He could have potentially, the turn prior was established double Nico Robin, and he would have had the Giant and the
Yeah.
Gum Gum.
Thing is though,
But the Hody pretty much signifies game regardless.
Yeah.
There's not much you can really do at that point.
I
Unfortunate.
feel like you're not doing anything if you do double blocker though. I'm just like in my free swings.
It was at least going to buy him a turn
Yeah.
because he was he didn't really have much in hand.
Yeah, I just got lucky with the draw though. I only saw was it one Virgo searcher instead of
Yeah.
the 8. Thing is though, the good thing about this matchup is I actually don't need to really rely on Tashigi, so you don't have to
No.
search for it.
Yeah.
So I have a lot more options with like Virgo
'Cause
and
really, the only removal they got is Radio Knife, and that's if they're running
they're
it.
running that, and I'm like, you're gonna have to use Radio Knife on the Tashigi. So it's like,
Yeah, and that's if you establish it. If not, it's
Yeah.
just kind of sitting there, which is good for them.
yeah, and it's like you're not gonna play Tashigi on board for like swings because, I mean, you would have to attach 2, and I feel like it's not as efficient.
So what's
Also-
Jesus playing today?
I'm not sure. Also, it's just nice though with what's it called? They don't allow movable, so your 5-cost smoker usually pretty much sticks there for a while.
Yeah.
Especially since it becomes an AK on their turn.
Yeah, that thing's disgusting. I hate facing Smoker.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
be right
very
back.
fun and very good.
Yeah, there's a lot that you could do.
Yeah, especially if I can like at 10 down, I can go like something like I play on 10. I play Kid, use the effect, attach 1, and I can still mull pistol after. But yeah, so I think there is going to be, or there might be one more, or 2 more rounds, because down pair 1, and so there'll be another down pair next round. It might be me, actually, but you never know. Also, I'm going to step away as well, just because a little stressed out after that game. That was a lot.
right. Little break there, but we are back. Gonna go into semifinals, potential finals, depending if the down pair loses here. So we are gonna see Johnny Tsunami on stream again, and he's gonna be facing Brian this time. And Brian is one of our resident Blackbeard players here. So see how it goes. I mean, Red Green Smoker does have a lot of activate main effects. Not a lot. I mean, obviously the list has changed a bit, so really, really interested to see how it's going to go here. So you do got Brian on the right, and then, of course, Johnny on the left here. So, of course, again, we do have Blackbeard versus Red Green Smoker. And it's honestly a matchup I used to hate as Blackbeard, but I've pretty much, there's ways around it at this point. Not as bad as it used to be. All right, let's see here. There we go. We do got that timer put on again. All right, here. Maybe I got time to run to the bathroom. Oh my God. Decided to try this different type of flavored protein milk, and it is disgusting. Strawberry banana, not the move. Strawberry only, definitely the move. All right. So Brian here decides to keep his hand. More than likely found the stage, maybe found a Myera. You know, has that early search engine. Oh, we did see a Myera begins there, and he's deciding to go first here. So, or didn't choose to go first, but isn't a Myera begins. Only has two targets here, which is going to be that Kuzan and that Vasco shot. So very interesting options here. Probably that Kuzan's going to be a good choice. That Vasco shot is going to be able to get retrieved from the trash at any point of the late game with a Kuzan, whereas that 6-cost Kuzan is not going to be able to. It's a very interesting Kuzan, though. I have taken it out of my list. It's just, I feel like it's a very hit or miss to play out. It's like he does have finger pistol in hand, which is going to be able to deal with any of potential smoker as soon as it is established here. So we do see a 6K to leader. Johnny does decide to take it here and establishes a Doc Q. So again, is going to want to find a Van Auger, potentially Laboon, and just start removing characters off the field here. And how we spoke about Tashigi last game, Tashigi is going to matter in this matchup to be able to protect Smoker, which we do see Smoker in hand. However, I do not see a Tashigi, so it's going to be very risky to not establish that Smoker without that Tashigi. And we do see double Rosinante here, establishing blockers. At this point, I believe 5 Don turn could decide to establish a Vasco and remove one of these Rosinantes, but that's kind of a waste. It'll just leave room for that Docu to get swung at the next turn. However, could swing 5K at a leader and then just establish the Vasco and decide to just pass turn, leaving that that Doc Q up for him. Yep. Oh, looks like he might be opting the Vasco and remove one of these Rosinantes here. So again, now at this point, this Doc Q is going to be a pseudo blocker for him. And here is that Smoker. Going to use leader ability since now he does have a 7K on the field. And Smoker will proc one more Dawn to go up. And there is that Doc Q swing. Is going to clear one. Oh, Kujaku. This is going to be able to find him Tashigi here. Oh. Yeah, Kujaku can only find a Navy type card. Virgo would have to have been the one to find that Sanji. And perfect setup here for Johnny Tsunami here. So now if he attempts to remove that Smoker with the finger pistol, the Tashigi is going to be able to rest itself and protect it. And currently going to be on 7 Dawn turn this upcoming turn as well. So probably was banking on establishing the 7 drop, doing the auger, and popping that Smoker with the 7 beard here. However, again, now that he does have this Tashigi, that plan is pretty much thwarted. Johnny also has a lot of removal in hand as well. Yep, so we do see that 7 cost, at least removing the Tashigi, which is at least removing some of the pressure there. And it's going for his 6K leader, decides to counter out there. Brian is debating whether or not to pitch for leader ability here, because again, it's a little tricky when you're facing, red green smoker. They don't have a lot of on play abilities, so at best, I know it does utilize the Hody Jones, which is one of the only on plays that it does have, which I believe he does have in hand there. But other than that, you're not really gonna see much on play abilities unless he is using Hibari if he is running it. And looks like he does have another Rosinante as well. Might decide to just pressure life here. Maybe a 7K swing to life with Banish. Brian doesn't get the card. So we do see a 7K to leader here. Banish. Does decide to let it go, and it is a Burgess, which again, it is okay since he does have the Kuzans in hand, which are going to be able to bring that Burgess back if he wanted to take that route instead of a 10 drop. I mean, next turn won't be able to play 10 drop. He will be on his 9 Dawn turn. So it does get a draw off of Augur since he decided to KO the Augur. Finds a 10 drop. Is probably going to go for the clear on this 7 drop Blackbeard since it did reduce it by 4. Made it a 4K. So we are going 8K. He's going to need at least 5K counter. Deciding what to grab from the trash. So on KO, it is going to be able to grab any Blackbeard type card. Not Blackbeard, any black card from the trash, though. It is able to grab itself if it really wanted to. So it ends up grabbing a Burgess. And Brian with a book in his hand here. Crazy hand for a Blackbeard. So 5 Don could establish a Burgess and a Kuzan and grab something from the trash if he really wanted to. Not sure if he's got another Burgess in the trash. Could establish a double Burgess. However, it looks like we are starting to dwindle Johnny Tsunami's hand as well, which is not where he wants to be at. So Brian really trying to think here. Could establish the Burgesses for next turn. If he has another 7 drop, could 7 drop and use a stronger and remove the smoker from field, since now there's no, well, no, wouldn't work since there are Rosinantes in the field. Rosinante does protect a rested character, so that's not an option. At this point, pretty much building the board is going to be probably Brian's move here. Yep, so we do see the Kuzan and Burgess established here. And that Burgess isn't really that big since Brian doesn't have much in the trash here. However, next turn we are going to start seeing the 10 drop start getting slammed down, which we know he only has 1 in hand, and very unfortunate that he doesn't have stage to just continuously cycle through his deck here. And decides to pitch a 7 drop for leader ability there. So finally activates leader ability, and again, more than likely just to be able to protect his board here, because if not, he could have done Hody Jones, rested the Burgess and the Kuzan, and just start pressuring the board, which we do see Hody go. And since there is no on-play ability, doesn't have to take a life, is going to at least get the rush this turn, which is also a plus for Johnny here. So you might see a 7K swing from leader. Does he take it? Yep. Oh, and he's down to 2. Kujaku is going to make a 9K swing since it does trash stuff, give something else. I believe a Navy card plus 1,000. Decides to give it to Smoker and attaches the Don. 9K banish. Is he going to give up 3 cards from hand? At the minimum, it's going to be 2 2Ks and a 1 or a lot of 1Ks, which we do see he has stronger there, so it's a minimum. It's like he's got a Lafitte. Looks like a Caribou as well, so it does have the counter for it. Yep, so we do see the Caribou and probably a Lafitte. Up the Kuzan, there you go. So 3 cards from hand there. So another 9 to leader here. Does take that swing. And very good on Johnny's part to be able to dwindle Brian's hand there a decent amount. Probably a 10 drop. So first 10 drop gets established. Looks like he does have that new 4 Emperors one. Such a nice ult. Debating whether to stun the Hody or the Smoker. Decides to stun the Hody. Maybe the Smoker would have been a good option, so it takes away one of the restands from Johnny and the banish. And then Johnny with the 10-layered igloo is deciding whether to take 2,000 away from Burgess or from leader. Decides to do the leader, so it takes away one of the swings. And he still is going to have to protect himself from a 7K Burgess swing here. And we do see the Van Auger getting brought out from the Kuzan here. And now this Burgess is kind of getting thick here. 3-1 away from A bird just being an AK here. So it was debating on swinging 7K into the Smoker. However, Smoker's leader ability does give an extra 1,000 buff to Navy type characters on his side of the field during, his opponent's turn. So that Smoker was an 8K. So Brian just decided to swing at life, getting him down to 0. And starting off with a 7K swing, the leader here. Probably trying to bait out the blocker to try to swing with another Hody if he's got one. And we got Brian thinking whether to counter out or block the 7K swing. So it's not there. So fresh. Just got handed myself a magic card for my Dino deck. All right, we do see Brian here considering on again whether to counter out or not, or the block, and looks like he is gonna decide on the block potentially. Still debating. Does counter out there, very interesting. How many cards in hand does he got? 3 cards in hand. There's another Hody. So again, is going to be able to get another Dawn up from that Smoker ability. So give himself some more Dawn to play with here. And could potentially decide the swing. Could go wide with the Rosinantes if he's feeling confident. And it looks like he's full of bricks here. But of course, Johnny doesn't know that. It's not where like Brian is able to kind of sculpt his hand like he wants to, like any other game with stage here. So Johnny Tsunami does have lethal here if he decides to just Hail Mary it. But again, there's really no point. You have the 2 Rosinante blockers as well on the field to kind of protect yourself. However, not a lot of counter. Looks like he's going to swing 9K into the Burgess. Yep, so he's going to swing 9K at the Burgess here. Does he block? If he does block here, could kind of show that he doesn't have counter. Yeah, there's the block. Does Johnny just slap it on and go for it? Does clear the Burgess, swinging 10K into it. Not sure how many cards Johnny has in hand here, but potential lethal here. Does have the finger pistol, and could just stack the Don on leader and that Vasco shot to get around that last Rosinante blocker. Yep, and we do see that Rosinante getting knocked with the finger pistol, and it's probably just going to spread the Don across the board here. 8 to leader. And that's gonna 10K to leader, and then with 1 Swing left is going to be a 12K swing with that Blackbeard blocker. So Brian taking the win there from Mr. Tsunami. Very unfortunate there for Johnny Tsunami there. So again, could have went lethal there. Not. I forget how much Rosinante is, to be honest. Let's see. Rosinante, one. Nah, he couldn't have. At least he could have swung lethal with trying to swing lethal with one. But yeah, that's just such bad math. Played it out exactly how he needed to there. Just very rough that, you know, Brian saw what he needed out to. And again, this is potentially the last round here. Really dependent on whether or not Jesus won, and he lost. So that means Brian is the winner of locals today. So Blackbeard takes the W here at the Abode again. Been a minute. I haven't seen what won the last 2 weeks, but this week it is a Blackbeard once again. Let me see. And locals finished early. Kind of like that. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to be the end of locals today. So that Brian takes the W. Not sure how it's going to sculpt out from there, but very good job on Brian's part. If Jesus would have won, it would have been a Blackbeard versus UP in the finals. But ended up getting taken out. Blackbeard dominance definitely does begin. There's always someone topping with it. It's either, I haven't seen Brian in a minute, but Wise Guy is definitely someone that does top a lot here at the locals with Blackbeard. I believe Jesus has done it as well. I haven't played at the Abode this set, but last set I did take 1 W with Blackbeard. From one of the locals I was allowed to play. But it was a little small turnout today. We didn't have, let's see, 9, 18 with 1 bye. So we had 19 people at locals. Was going to be 20, but I ended up commentating today. So 19 people for locals. Decent turnout today. Reminder that every Wednesday we do have locals for league. Winners for first place gets their invite into the, what's it called, into the event, the Winners League. And I believe they do have another event coming out. Let's see, the 13th. So the 13th, there is going to be a 1K here at the Abode. Definitely check out the Discord for more information on it. And I believe signups are on there as well. So definitely check it out if you guys want some more practice, some potential store credit prizing. I believe first place is like 400 or 300. I haven't looked at it yet, but free monies if you win. I believe 4 packs on entry. Let's see, before I just keep spouting numbers at you guys, let me just verify this here. I do have access to this currently. I don't have access to it. I lied. Okay. Yeah, so definitely there's going to be a 1K on the 13th, though. So definitely sign up for the 1K, get some store credit. Oh, and it looks like we have Tsunami joining us before I went off. So that is the end of locals. Jesus lost down pair. Not sure what he faced. Oh, so Jesus got rushed down then.
Yeah, I chose second because I was like, I don't want intensity, and then I'm like, after I do my play, first.
Get the pressure going. Establish that smoker on curve.
Yeah, I think it's also unfortunate. I saw 3 ODs. I think 1 or 2 is enough. And I think my only 2Ks was that chopper and the
Yeah.
guy I had to play. So
If
he looked at my hand at one point, it was pretty bad.
there was a chance of you winning, but of course you were in a state to try to stall a turn.
Yeah.
He would have slapped it all on.
3 1Ks on hand.
No, he had 3 bricks.
Oh yeah, he had 6 in hand, 3 1Ks and 3 bricks.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, I'm like, he has 6 cards in hand. I'm like,
Yeah, it's never that wasn't a good situation to do it. But me looking at it, I'm
I
like,
think
you
the
had
thing is
lethal,
though,
surprisingly.
I should have, I think attached one or two to smoker, like swing like 8 at lead to bait out the blocker immediately.
Yeah,
Because then I could have done something like, yeah, bait out the blocker, I kind of could have game, or could like swung like into the 10 cost and like the T hard, not the TC Burgess.
yeah. You could have just also, yeah, you could have did 8 and then Hodied, rested the Don, and then probably just a 9, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, you swung 9, 10. Yeah, that would have probably been lethal as
Yeah.
well. So,
But it's like,
what was last life? Did he show you?
it's Burgess, so it's 1K counter, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, so 9, 10, that would have won you the
Yeah.
game
But
also.
it's like, are you really going to go to game when he has 6 in hand?
No, that's what I'm saying. You were in a, it was a rough. I'm saying after what I saw, I'm like, you could have if you went for it, but wasn't a good spot.
I just
But
wish I had more 2Ks. Those kind of had things you just take the hits.
yeah,
Also, I keep forgetting that people are running finger pistol again.
yeah, I threw that
So
back
if
in there
he
as
had
well.
something else like, if he had like a Doc Q or 7 cost teach, I'm fine with that because if he goes Doc Q, he has to use Van Auger. That's one swing gone. If he uses the 7 cost teach, he only has 3 extra down to play with, and so there's like a possibility that if I have enough counter, that I can just counter odds.
Yeah,
It's like I can hit 3 1Ks and no counter.
yeah, he just had exactly to get out of that one
It
swing.
felt bad though. I drew 3 of those Virgos later in the game. And it was just
And
useless.
you couldn't search anymore. But again, it is what it is. You'll get him next time.
I mean, this is the first time I played it, or no, it's second or with this deck, but
You made it
I'm liking
far.
the deck a lot. It's very good.
You made it very far. I lost in the finals. I mean, shit.
I'll say, but now I know I go first against BB.
I think you want to go first majority of the matchups,
Yeah,
just
I
for
think
your
the
own
only
curve.
one I didn't want to go, I think I did. I wanted to go seconds against the GPs just because.
You take their good curve away.
Yeah.
Like Blackbeard, so the thing with Blackbeard this set is that it can go for first or
Yeah,
second.
that's what I noticed
So
too. I have to establish Doc Q and he's going to 5. I'm like, if he plays Van Auger and then goes to the 7 cost, I'm like, this is very bad.
yeah, so personally, I like to go
And then,
first
yeah.
and Blackbeard now,
And then
but
I
I'll
had
go
to
either
do
or.
Honesty Impact, clear bolt, and he just drew 2 cards with that and
Yep.
I didn't get a swing off.
Yeah, so that's why I like just go for your curve because they can do either or at this point. Second, they could establish the Burgess build up. First is removal curve.
Actually, I don't think I really care then if I go first because if I play the Hody or Kid out, I'm most likely stunning that, not the Smoker.
Yeah.
The Smoker kind of just immediately requires the usually the teach block immediately.
Which I'm surprised he didn't stun Smoker. I think he just forgot about the restand ability. Because I
Doesn't-
would have
doesn't
didn't.
The thing just doesn't let you attack with the card. It doesn't know its effect.
Nullifies all abilities. So you wouldn't have been able to restand or nothing. So that's why it's kind of like.
Thing is, I don't get 1 down extra, but then I have the 1K power increase in the Hody. So it technically counters out if I don't play anything.
Yeah. Still, it's just a rough time.
Yeah, at least in that, I didn't feel like it was like. I feel a lot of times you face BB, I feel like it's unwinnable, but I'm like, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, it was just the fact. Like I said, if you would have just attached the 1 Don on the Smoker right there, then you would have seen your line
I
of
don't
lethal.
think any sane person's gonna attack. I mean, I have 2 swings. He has 1 life and 6 cards. I mean, I'll have like I could swing like 9, 10, but I don't think any sane person would be like, this is a lethal angle right here.
No, but I'm saying if you would have attached that 1 Don, you could have gave yourself a better idea. But swinging 7, I don't know what else you had in your hand, but
Now my hand at the end was another Hody and 3 Virgos.
yeah, I would have just went for it.
Yeah, I didn't think about the finger pistol, so I was like, I felt kind of fine with 3 1Ks.
Yeah.
If I take out Burgess, that's 3 swings, but 2 blockers and 3 1Ks, and so I might be able to pull something if he tries to like get some fancy and like KO something with like the 7 cost or a Doc U.
Yeah. I don't know. It was
Yeah,
fucking something. But yeah, that is the end of locals today.
no round 5.
No round 5, 9 o'clock. Before 9 o'clock, locals is pretty much done. Reminder, Wednesdays, locals, league. You win league, you get an invite. You potentially take home a box. I mean, it's pack per head, so 19 packs are going to get distributed today.
Is the 1K on the 14th Sunday?
13th.
13th?
Yeah, 13th 1K as I stated. First place was probably like 400, I believe it was. I don't know the breakdown. Check the Discord out. All that information is going to be on there and the Facebook. So definitely sign up. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the Twitch. Oh my goodness. To get notifications when they're live, they stream Pokemon, Digimon, or obviously One Piece. They stream as much games as they possibly can. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're on there watching um, for more content purposes. And without further ado, that is